Hello, my name is Wade Tuvalpi. Welcome to another documentary stream. Now, obviously, we're not talking about the wearable space plane. We're talking about today, and about maybe since then. Over the past maybe months or maybe half a year, two landers were failed over the months. One of them was I should say, well, let's go back at about from 2013 when the Chinese lander and rover land on the moon. Now, that might seem a little bit boring, but I think that there's something else. After that, in 2018, I think, or maybe at the almost at the end or somewhere around there, Bereshit lander tried, it was Israel's Bereshit lander, and as soon as it was descending, it lost telemetry and it was tumbling over place, I think. And it just crashed because it was tumbling and it was accelerating downwards instead of upwards, because the gravity on the moon will pull you down. If you more know about orbital mechanics and physics, which I never took physics class, they say was boring, but I think that pretty much I know what the basic steps. However, I think the next phase, which was actually India's time. And this was actually in 2019, very recently. Actually, maybe I was hoping that they will make it, but no, they lost telemetry about 1.5 feet. Let me get this right. I'm going to have to go wiki because I'm not giving some wrong things. I can make sure I get this right. So after that failed, actually before that, China in 2019 and actually like January, like really early, they landed a rover and a lander, the same thing that landed in 2013. How come that China can land but we can't, or instead? Now, this might be criticism to something, and it is actually possibly why, or it could be any design that we're making is that the Chinese are making something that they're successful, like maybe putting two telemetries in case one fails. We still don't know why they failed. We might be a design flaw because over the years we made, come on, we landed men on the moon. How come we can't land in even a small lander on the moon? Now, if this adds up, it's going to be one conclusion. I do have two types of features, hypothesis. May not be true, but there may be actually something. Now, we were hostile to China for a while because of this made in USA thing. However, I think they probably have remembered. China also had a ton of missions, actually just a few missions, according to this, that they launch a lot of satellites, more than a lot. And pretty much they just come out of the blue and saying, hey, we're on the moon. And what I think, if anybody that's watching this that's from China, it's not your fault. It might be two, all right? I'm trying to be as fair as possible, as possible. So what I think is China are basically probably using the first ever ICBM on the moon. What do I mean? Well, there's going to be, if those landers, there's no indication of a science experiment accordingly. So what I'm thinking is they only took that, what I know is rare photos recently. Is, oh, we found something, and it just it gives me a clear way of something isn't right about China. And it seems like that, but it could be us. It could be basically something else. We're doing something wrong, that's for sure. So if we're going to go back to the moon, it'd be very embarrassing if all of our landers just keeps on failing. Jeff Bezos' blue moon thing's going to fail. That means that, and if we do, figure out that they're doing that, oh my God, that's going to be like moon wars all over again. Actually, like, I should say a moon war, like, who's going to have, the moon is supposed to be a place where, like, it's a different world, and it pretty much there are places on the moon that are owned by, of course, by United States Air Force. It's because that there is a historic landing. If you land those areas, they get angry. I don't know how angry, unless they hack the lander and just self-destruct, I'm guessing. But for instance, it seems like the landers are really close to surface. Now, if this happens, if China does have missiles, eventually they'll run out. But eventually, if they keep landing, or I should say, if they have orbiter rockets that do intercept, the reason why probably they have a rover is because maybe it's used for just, I don't know. But it's a good thing, as the same thing as I have a good hypothesis of why we use the X-37B, possibly for warp technology, but the government won't say anything about it because, anything of that is secret, and they probably bad people will use it as a weapon instead of warp technology for the stars, like in Star Trek. Yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking. We probably invented warp technology, just like in Star Trek. But I guess the United States Air Force and the government saying, no, we're going to have to wait until 2100. And if that doesn't work, I'm guessing they have to wait until everybody is sweet and nice, and which won't happen, maybe never, because it just, people, and things just intercept religions, war. It just interferes a lot of things. It causes problems, and pretty much there's even wars going on right now that we're not possibly involved, but pretty much it's not involved by shooting maybe, but it's like some countries that are like right next to each other, and they infinitely headbutt each other because one of them is a religion, I think Jews, and I'm not sure about that, unless my mom was back in time maybe, but it might be a little bit of a false thing. So yeah, now might sound crazy that might be a thing. Now, it doesn't mean that they're trying to protect it, which obviously I just recently heard that if we do have a space station, that would be extremely catastrophic. If they have weapons on the surface, and if they're launching from the surface, and if we build the Artemis station, which orbits around, with people and even Japanese, that's going to be a problem. And if we don't figure out that, because some landers and artists don't work out together. They could be a artist emanation that it's secretly, secret. Now, of course, we do have on the thing that I've showed you before. Yeah, of course, the orbiter is operational. It seems like, okay, so yeah, I'm looking on Wikipedia. All right, Tangon, or wait, this one. Actually, there are 4. Actually, apparently, they did have a spacecraft failure, but the orbiter is still in orbit. On 21st of May, 2018, Long March, or just an orbiter. It seems like China. So the first China was actually on October 1st, but it was successful, but it was an orbiter. And actually India, then NASA, which of course we had Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. And after that, in 2009, then October 1st, 2010, China orbiter, successful. We're going to ignore the NASA ones. So another one. What? So they both successful. Delay from the chain, deploy from chain lander. Oh my God, there was so in 2014, they had attached to third stage. Then we have tests from, of course, Falcon 9, or I should say SpaceX, and then China. And then after that, we have the Better Sheetlander. Spacecraft failure. After that, India. The orbiter survived. Yeah, operational. It makes, I'm guessing, sense that, you know, yeah, India did also some sample returns, or actually, no, impactor. Pardon me. Mm-hmm. So you get the deal here. But we do have some future crewed ones. Actually, sooner or later, if I get, important, they're going to be the werewolf space plane. It's going to be one of these categories soon. So maybe in 2023, I'm guessing. That would be a planned project if, people would see me that I have a great invention and that, revolutionized technic things that, even though it might work in Kerbal, I'm gonna say that if somebody planned it in real, like not in real life, but in that, the werewolf space plane is gonna keep continuing until my entire life is dead, because it seems like that the werewolf space plane is a reliable space plane. Now, if that doesn't get up there, then the orange tank that I'm planning on is gonna get up there. Any type of fuel tank, get refueled. You know, I'm actually gonna. I feel like I need to watch Space Buddies again for some reason. I just want to see how wrong it is, and see if they have any orbital mechanics. If I see that is like this, almost like a reference, if they do like this type of fist, like weird types of things that they do on um from the Tintin rocket, it's gonna make me just laugh, because I remember in the Tintin thing, they kept the engine on entire time, and when it turned off, everyone's like, "Ah, yeah." But I love the rocket; it's amazing. I actually I wanted to put a mission, literally that lander, but small, and it would just be like crazy. Yeah, come on, Elon Musk, can you? He tried to make something like that, but I really want to make a small scale type of Tintin rocket. Um, Yeah, it is very possible. I basically really want to see, type of things. So, does it make sense? Sort of. Successful. Ooh, you say. What is it? Smart One probe. Yeah, there's like a bunch of, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I forgot wind. What should I say? Hey, Moon Impact Probe. Ooh, Chang 1. Yeah, you better hide, stupid man. Shut up. What am I doing? You better hide it. Voi gotta see up, cause you love to get up, you can live, but if it's, I have no idea. It's just, beep. Huh? All right, that's it for that. Um,